A very toasty welcome to everyone who is hustling out there in their life, relationship, and work. You are listening to the Rohan Arote show, and I am your host, Rohan. Welcome back to episode 2, and I know this is a surprise episode. In fact, this episode was not planned at all, but then as they say, things flow and you need to follow the flow. So today this is going to be a very special episode. Those who have already seen the thumbnail must have guessed it that there is a guest in the studio, and trust me, he is a bang on guest. He has got a lot of things to share with us. Definitely, I'm going to give his brief intro. So, he has been my coach over 2 years now, and there are a lot of things which he has done in his life, which I would not want to introduce him. I want him to share what has he really done in life and what are things he has been doing, and let's hear from him only. And he's none other than Mr. Swamy Pillai. Though people, it's not that he is a Swami or something, but his name is Swami. Many people get confused whenever there's a when he calls me, and if I'm around someone and the name flashes Swami. So people ask me, "Is there any Swami who you consult to?" I say, "Yeah, there's one Swami who I consult to," but then he is not a real life Swami, but he carries lot of knowledge about of being one Swami. His name is Swamy Pillai. So let's welcome him. Hello, Swami. How are you doing today?
Hi, Rohan. I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction.
So that was not an introduction. Absolutely, it was not an introduction. But then, yeah, everyone would love to understand and know what is that you do and who you really are.
Sure, sure. Thank you. So, by education, I'm an engineer.
Oh wow.
However, what I'm doing right now has nothing to do with engineering. Well, I realized during my engineering that rather than finding fault with the machine and fixing it, I'm good at fixing people's problem.
I totally vouch that.
Yeah. I have been in search of uh, techniques and stuff that can quickly bring the shift. Especially people have dreams in their life,
Yeah,
and there is a gap between where they are and where they want to reach.
absolutely.
So, what is it that can help people to quickly bridge this gap? Was my quest, right? Since almost I think from 10th standard,
Wow.
almost year 2000. Yeah. So since then, I have been in quest, and I have been blessed with for some to come across with some phenomenal people who have been my who have guided me, and I have immensely gained in these years, and I feel so humbled that at this age I got to get introduced to some phenomenal concepts, some phenomenal theories,
Okay.
and yeah. So so practically speaking, I have done a lot of different modalities, but primarily the one that I would want to highlight is the Silva method of
Okay.
mind control by Jose Silva is one of my foundational from where I got most of my understanding about
Okay.
life. And then and of course there are many like EFT, emotional freedom technique, and there are plenty of others which I would not really want to go then because then the list would go on and on.
Yeah.
However, the one thing that has of late is shifting immensely is access consciousness.
Okay.
Since last 1 year, I'm just diving in that modality and trying to see how I can enhance my own life and
Okay.
help others as well. So yeah, so and so I'm a trainer basically. I'm a Silva method trainer, and I'm a
Okay.
facilitator for access bars,
Okay.
and I do one-to-one sessions.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
that-
definitely you can always go check his Instagram and Facebook page and connect him with on those platform. He has been with me. My and Swami's relation is a lot different. We share a lot closer relationship. Uh, Initially, we met. Even I was a coach, and even he was a
Yeah.
coach. But then we both started coaching of each other, and then I took a different path. He has a different path altogether.
Well, you were the one with whom I came to get coached. Then later on, we found that even I can be of help in some area to you. So,
Right.
but initially, I think we met in one of
The seminars,
yeah, one
business
of the business
seminars.
seminars.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, from there the journey started, and trust me, guys, whenever there is a challenge in my life, in any area of my life, Swami has a way to just very calmly understand the problem and then help you navigate through. He definitely doesn't give you any what can I say, any answer or a solution, but he will show you the road, maybe navigate or guide as per the problem, what the problem is. As far the problem is there or is concerned with. So this is a very special episode, and I might record more of these episodes. And this is just like a pilot project we both thought of just coming up with, and to just see how it goes. So to start off with, I thought we can just start off with a very basic question, and this has been a lot seen on internet about the one word, that is energy.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about energy, and everyone is talking about how your energy is connected with the dreams you have or thoughts you have. Your thoughts is also an energy. Your thought, what you think is what you achieve or what you manifest. So all of this has been started creating a confusion, to be really very honest, for people
Okay.
like me, and there are many others like us, who we call as layman.
Okay.
And we would definitely want to understand from someone who has been working in this industry over now 15 years.
Yeah, since year 2001,
2001. So yeah. So yeah,
exploring that
it's
field since
it's
then.
around now 19 years,
Yeah,
I can say,
yeah.
where you have been working. So we want someone like expert or someone knowledgeable and experienced person like you to understand, help us understand in very layman language what is, with my first question, in fact, what is energy really?
Cool. Wonderful. Wonderful question. So, what is energy? Well, let me try to put it in a simple terms. So, energy is everywhere, and you can use. We may not be able to know the energy directly, but we can understand energy with the effect that it has. So, for example, if you're asking me what is electricity, so I may not really, tell you about exactly what electricity is, but I can show you the effect because you cannot see it and you cannot touch it. So, it's as good as it is not there. However, we see the effect of it
Okay.
everywhere. Like electricity. You cannot see an electricity, but you
Right.
switch on the fan and you the fan starts running. So with that aspect, we can very well understand the energy. So one of the simple way to understand is if I ask you a question, how do you feel when you are angry? There is there is a different energy to it. And how do
Right.
you feel when you are very happy?
Right.
You feel different. So this difference is the difference in the energy.
Right.
So there are various different expressions of energy.
Okay.
Energy in itself is not good or bad, negative or positive, right or wrong. The way we consider energy to be,
Okay.
like fire.
Right.
Fire real necessarily may not be bad. Depends on what use you put it into. You can use it to perhaps burn your gas, or else you can even set fire something else. Based on that, you can use energy to for any particular outcome.
Okay.
So yeah, I think when we are talking especially about manifesting something and achieving some goal, we do talk about energy and are you in alignment with what you are asking.
Okay.
Most of the time you want to reach somewhere, however you have a lot of doubt within,
Right.
so you are not really in the energy of the outcome of what you are expecting. You are in the energy of the doubt.
Right.
So even people refer to this as vibration, no? Or the
Okay.
frequency. What frequency are you in?
Okay.
Are you, or vibration are you in? These are the
Right.
different other
Right.
terms, parallel terms that can be used to understand what energy is. So whatever you are asking, one should be aligned with that particular ask, the energy of that.
Okay.
So if you are thinking of succeeding in one particular project, but your thoughts, your majority of thoughts are that of failure, fear of failure, then you are not in congruence with your ask. And
Okay.
that's where we say that the energy, you are not in the energy of your ask, but rather you are in the energy of the doubt and other thing. So you
Okay.
and so whatever is your energy, that is what is going to expand. Wherever you're, whatever is the nature of energy, is that is what going to expand and manifest.
Okay.
So yeah, so we really need to be aware of what are you really being, what are you really thinking most of the time, what are you really feeling about that particular goal.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's one of the way to understand whether you are in alignment of it, because when you are in alignment, it will be so much ease, so much expansiveness, there is so much of space, and when you are not, you would know it.
Right.
You would be just able to recognize when you are not in alignment with what you're asking. So ease, expansiveness, feeling light whenever you're thinking about that goal is one of the way to know whether you are in alignment with that goal or not.
Okay. So let's break it down. What you said right now is I totally agree to it. Uh, how do emotions, people are not consistent with their emotions, if you see,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever I say something, Swami says this thing, Rohan, you have a very interesting point of view. And then I was like, okay, fine. But then yeah, it might be my interesting point of view, but then you see a lot of people not being consistent with their emotions when they are on the journey or a path to achieve their goals or dreams or targets or a specific result which they want. Do that fluctuation and
Yeah.
do that fluctuation of emotions or the constant change of emotions affect the energy which you want to be congruent with what you
What you
want
are.
to achieve?
Okay.
Does it affect?
Good question. The answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Well, we are not robots. We are not programmed to just function in just one particular fashion or to be in one state of emotion on a consistent basis. We are human beings and we can experience different emotions. So, definitely, emotional health, emotional well being definitely affects your outcome to a
Okay.
big time. So, one of the word that I may want to use here is the focus.
Okay.
So where is the focus? Is the focus in creating the solution that you're looking for, or is your focus is on the obstacles that is on the way?
Okay.
So people get stuck in their focus, and that's what changes the energy
Okay.
and the emotion. But of course, when things are not showing up the way you want them to show up, you end up concluding a lot of stuff, end up
Become
assuming.
impatient as well.
Yeah, because you're judging, you're doubting,
Right.
you're unsure. So what exactly, why that change of energy is that it's because of the focus.
Right.
Your focus is not on the outcome, your focus is more on why the outcome cannot be achieved.
Okay.
So the one word that I always felt can really turn the tide around is the word focus.
Okay.
So if we can be more focused on the solution, if we can be more focused on what is that you desire to create in your world rather than what actually is right now happening,
Okay.
and what are the things that are not going in your way, if your focus is there, then you would more often end up creating that.
So I'm picking up something from what you said right now, and that is the energy in the energy which you have been carrying in past. Uh, I would frame it in this way. In fact, today's result is the energy you have been carrying in the past. Is that what you agree with?
Well, it's yes and no again, for the simple reason you would have created shit in your life based on what energy, what you were focusing upon, whether you are focusing on the problems or whether you were really focused on the solution. And there would have come a point where you realize that, okay, this is not creating the way what I would want to really create, then you may just shift. and you may choose
Okay.
to focus on a different way, and that would create a result outcome. So I cannot really so we cannot really say that um, that 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 energy of doubt was not contributing to the energy of your outcome,
Okay.
because when we go into fear, we at times also look for ways to come out of the fear.
Right.
So it is not linear. The creation is not linear or logical. So the question that you're asking is a logical question, whether this has an effect on that. However,
Right.
creation in reality, in actuality, is not linear. It's not logical.
Okay.
Like you can be there in a very bad emotional state for a year, and you choose to become aware, and you choose to make the change and commitment, and you may just turn around things within a matter of week, within a matter of days, in
Okay.
spite of you not being dwelling into certain thoughts or emotions that were not really contributing. So change is instant.
Okay.
So I would say everything is contributing. What if even the negative thoughts are contributing towards your outcome? How about that?
Okay.
Is that more comforting? Because if I tell, I mean, I have faced this immensely in my earlier days, where I used to be so much bucked up with the negative thoughts that I would come, because I would have the strong opinion that I always need to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if I'm not thinking positive, if I'm thinking negative, then that would show up. So my take is this: if you believe that if so-called negative thoughts and emotions are going to affect your outcome, then they are going to affect the outcome.
Okay.
And now I just go with the flow. If I don't feel positive about something, I'm okay with it, and I'm not concluding there, I'm not judging that emotion. So it just passes. Then it doesn't matter whether what is that emotion. Then
Okay.
it's a judgment. We are carrying judgment around emotion, whether it's a positive or negative. What if there
Right.
was no positive and no negative? What if even the so-called negative emotions can still contribute to your outcome?
Okay.
Would you then really bother about the content of the emotion? No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, because then you will have no judgments around whatever you are experiencing. Your focus is, okay, how can I use this to create that outcome? How can I use it to my advantage to create the life that I am desiring to create?
So when there is a situation where you are really, let's say things are not working out in the way you want they to work out, and then you say that okay, things are not going good with me, or you start with a negative talk, and then people around you say don't be so negative, be positive, be positive. If you tend to keep being negative, then it's going to be a, you might not achieve the change which you are expecting to achieve.
Correct.
So again, there is a comment of negative energy or positive energy which you're carrying. So how to really map these things to the current situation?
Yeah.
Because eh, after all, you are a human being and you have an emotion that okay, things didn't happen according to me. I want to crib about it, I want to talk shit about it, then it's not happening, why the fuck is it not happening? And on that scale. But then people say that be positive, and that you start to suppress that energy within you, the negative energy, by not bringing it out
Correct.
of yourself. And then you start being positive, and that is like a forceful positiveness
Yeah.
which you bring out. So how to really play this ball,
Yeah.
it's such a task to
It
really.
is. It is. It is. So yeah, I even in my earlier days, I used to struggle with this immensely. I mean, there used to be so much of conflict in my universe, in my world, because of these concepts. So, um, so yes, definitely negative. You know, when it's all about judgments.
Okay.
It's all again. I mean, in a way, I would say it's a point of view again. So, what is point of view? So, for example, if if there is this building outside, and I am looking from this one direction, so I would see I would have be able to see certain view of that building. Okay, if I am looking from the other side of that building from a different point, and I try to view that building, I would have some different picture of it. If I try to view the same building from helicopter, perhaps, then I see a different view.
Right.
So the point from which I'm looking at, or rather the angle from which I'm looking at, um, I am able to see a different view.
Right.
So the question that you're asking me right now, there can be thousand different answers. It depends on from what angle are we approaching it, from what angle are we looking at it. So there is no one absolute way. There can be thousands of way to handle this. And of late, I have really come to this space where I have stopped judging energy as negative or positive. This just shifted. This just happened in the last 10 months.
Okay.
Earlier, in the different modalities that I have learned, I was always told about being positive and use the positive
Absolutely.
words.
Yeah.
So and there comes a point when you feel like you're faking it.
Absolutely. And that's where I'm coming from. Like,
Exactly.
you start faking that I am energetic, I am positive. Okay, affirmations on one scale is okay. But then if a person has really asked you in a situation where you are fucked up that how are you doing, you really want to come out with that I'm fucked up, but then you don't come up with that and you say I'm doing very good.
Right. That's because of the judgments that you have around that energy and that state of mind,
Okay.
because you don't feel that it is going to contribute.
Right.
So it's all comes to judgment again.
Okay.
So it's a bullshit now, which I can say that you just always have to be positive. No, if you're positive, it's like if your garden, there are a lot of weeds, and you
Right.
say my garden is great and it's full of wonderful trees. Man, the weed is going to take over your garden after a period of time. So you need to be aware of what is really going on. So the question is about what is going on and what is it that I need to be aware of. Instead of even going to judgment, this negative and positive, you can just ask, what is it? What is needed here?
Okay.
Instead of judging as negative or positive. So, because you have judged it as negative or positive, you are now deciding what to speak and what not to speak.
Absolutely.
If you had no judgments,
Yeah, you're just making calculations.
exactly,
That
it's
what
a
should I do?
calculative, analytical mind. Wherein, so that's where there is a two different way of life. One is a very logical, linear, analytical way of living a life where you're planning it strategically every step, and there is another way of life where you're following the energy. So
Okay.
what do you mean by that? I have immensely struggled earlier with in sticking to a timetable. Oh my God, there have been years and years together. Every single day, the day would start with making a wonderful timetable of how the day should go ahead. And if there is this during my engineering time, I would do this a lot, and I would have a period for 10 minutes for break.
Right.
And if I exceeded by 1 minute, I would just beat myself up, and the entire day would just get ruined. And till and before sleeping, I would be in so much of this shit energy. I would pick up some inspirational book,
Okay.
and I would read some success story of some person who overcame his limitation, his negative thoughts, and he was determined, and he decided that he's going to do something. And so I used to get inspired, and I would s- sleep telling myself that tomorrow I will, get my timetable right. This continued each and every day. It is insane that we human beings consistently keep on doing something again and again and again without expecting different result, even though the
Absolutely.
results don't show up. So what is that? It is actually, it is about the conditioning of this reality of reward and punishment,
Yeah.
and of what is good and what is bad, how you should be and how you should not be. So we all are unique. We
Right.
have our own special capacity, and if you are going to measure your thoughts and emotions based on these um, um, these different groups of negative or positive, good or bad, you are going to have a tough time, man. I mean, I every day I was fighting against myself with my thoughts. And so I would it's like I would put like this: there is this negative self, positive self, and there is a negative self. Like that inside Swami, there are two Swami.
Right.
Okay, and there is third Swami who is doubtful, and there is a fourth Swami who's who always like to seek inspiration and do what is best. And there is a
Right.
fifth Swami who will be authentic. He'll just be and say and do whatever he is feeling. And there should be constant conflict within these internal personalities.
Right.
And now when I have seen that energy is just energy. It's up to us how we want to look at it as when we label it.
Right.
So the issue is all about labeling, and the label comes from the mind.
Right.
There's this commentary that goes on. If you're experiencing a sensation, for
Mhm.
example, it is for let's take a practical example. Let's not even talk about emotion. Let's talk about a practical case where You are coming from, let's take an example of a farmer.
Okay.
He's immensely working hard, and he came from work, he returned back from to his home after working hard, and he's sweating. And if there is a wonderful, if for example he comes and switches on the fan,
Okay.
and there is no current, and he's profusely sweating, right?
Okay.
Now, to feel miserable or not basically depends on what commentary the mind is going to, comment on this particular condition in a
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
If the commentary doesn't happen, whether you are sweating or whether you are actually experiencing the wonderful air doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
Just imagine if this commentary that is going on, oh shit, yeah, this there is no electricity, and how much load shedding keeps happening. This
Yeah.
government
So
is
it's
this,
more
and
like an
exactly you get
complaining
into
phase.
stories, and your trauma, you move into that. So if you actually look at, instead of complaining, you just ask, okay, what is going on? What is needed? What can I do now to make myself feel better? That would perhaps give him some different way to feel better. Perhaps he may be reminded that he has this. In earlier days, we have this auto. There used to be this stuff which by which they wave. Uh, I'm not even getting the name. So there is this traditional thing by
Okay.
which you can keep yourself airy. You do
Okay.
not feel sweat.
So it's like a hand fan
Yeah,
or something.
exactly, a hand
Hand
fan. You
fan,
may
like,
just,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's made of stick and
Stick,
certain wood and
right?
stuff.
Bamboo sticks.
So now he would not even go to that if he is get stuck with this complaining part.
Mm-hmm.
So if one can ask, okay, all right, I'm experiencing sweat right now, and there is no fan right now. All right, so we are accepting whatever is going on,
Okay.
not judging it whether it's good or bad.
Okay.
And then you ask yourself, okay, what is needed here? What can I do now to make myself comfortable? Perhaps I can just go and take a shower, perhaps.
Okay.
Or
Smart option.
perhaps I can just go and this use this anything, use a book or something to just blow some air over my face, and that can perhaps be more bring more. I can feel better now. So instead of going and analyzing a problem, if you don't judge them, then you don't come across these energies. Then you can, I mean, it's such a easy, simple way of bypassing all this drama
Okay.
of it. So yeah, so coming back to answering the question which you originally asked is about, should we really express whatever is going on?
Yeah.
If we express, then we are aware of what is really going on. You don't have to necessarily express outside, but you
Okay.
just be aware of what is going on inside, and what mask are you wearing outside then.
Okay.
There are times when you cannot really show up what is going on inside.
Yeah, but then there is always a temptation that if you're angry, you really want to express that anger. People say if you're angry, you should learn to calm yourself down in that situation. But then some people, not some, in fact, I say majority have this temptation of expressing out that anger. They might not have an intention to hurt the other person, but they want to express it out because they can't keep it within themselves.
Correct.
So that suppression of energy, even I can feel right now, if I'm controlling something right now,
Yes.
I can really feel that I'm just I'm overburdening my body right now. It's
Correct.
so hard on me to just
Yeah.
not express that out.
Correct. The question, the thing that one can do here is it going to, what mode of expression is going to contribute to me and this other person?
Okay.
And that may help you come up with some different option to express this anger energy.
Okay. But in that
So
situation, do you really have time to really get onto this part?
that's a choice.
Okay.
If we talk about time, and if you buy that idea, then of course you don't have time. You just react. It's
Absolutely.
a
You
capacity.
react.
It's a capacity that you build over a period of time. It is a muscle that needs to be built. It doesn't, like, you
Come
may
over the
not.
night.
You may, like, it's just a matter of choice.
Okay.
It also depends something on commitment. How much committed are you to really creating a joyful life, and how much are you committed to really creating crap? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you are so much dependent on the outside situation. If things
Okay.
goes wrong, you are going to feel crappy, and if things goes right, you are feeling going to feel positive. So that, so you at times, you people continue to play with this, and when people have too much of fluctuation here, and that's when they really try to question, I mean, is it life really worth it? Do I really want to live such a life where I'm so much dependent on things that are beyond my control? No, that's when people start questioning, and that's when they start going inward and see,
Okay.
okay, what is it now? am I really um, um, a function of the external factors, or is there something within me that can determine in how I would respond to it? So there's this famous saying. So it is not what happens to you;
Mm-hmm.
it is what meaning you give to what happens to you that determines how you are going to experience that.
Okay.
So there's this one famous example that I normally quote. It's a wonderful story about this one person who was, driving in a highway. In a, it's a story from U.S. And he was driving in around 120 miles per an hour. He was driving his bike, and
Okay.
you get to at times you look at some site on the road and you just get stuck to that. Oh my god, like you are appreciating that. So something happened for him, and the moment he just became aware, and he looked at straight on the road, he just saw that there is this oil tanker which has just applied a brake,
Okay.
and now he doesn't has much time. He's
Mm-hmm.
just going to hit it. So he
Right.
just applies the brake and skids the bike, and he goes and hits the truck, and there's an explosion. And
Okay.
he wakes up after 6 days in excruciating pain. He regains his consciousness, and then he's almost 90% burnt. And
Oh.
doctor says you hardly have any hope. Now he has a choice. He has a choice to really. He can tell himself that, oh my god, my body is almost burnt. Let me go away.
Okay.
But he didn't choose to do that. He just asked himself a question. Okay, what can I do here now?
Okay.
What can I do now? What can I focus so that I can get back? So doctor said that you cannot walk for life. For throughout this lifetime you cannot walk. And he said, I'm going to walk out. What is the am I do I want to live this kind of life
Okay.
where I am dependent on others? So the voice came from within. No, I would like to be independent. I would like to walk on my own and have my own life. And he decides, okay, within a matter of I think 6 months or a year, he said, I'll be out. I'll be walking from here. And he did. He did that. He walked
Okay.
out. And then we see a lot of people who have phenomenal resources, who have all the money, who have all the support, everything, and they end up wasting their life addicted, fat, and frustrated. So what is the difference here? The difference is on the focus, and difference is what you ask. What is that you want to really create out of it?
Okay.
Where you really recognize that you are not totally dependent on the external factors, that you can influence things, and that's where this energy comes in picture.
Okay.
So if you are the energy of possibility, then you would create possibility, and this
Okay.
depends on the focus. So the word focus matters a lot in terms of what energy are you tapping.
Okay.
Okay, so there is this doubt energy, and there is this empowering energy, and there is this hope energy. So what energy are you? It's like this amazing another example. For example, if you are going into a party, and if you have a video camera, and you are just focusing on a specific people, and if you happen to see a couple of people fighting,
Okay.
okay, and now here you're zooming into it, and you're sure
Absolutely. Yeah.
and your entire focus is there for next 1 hour. And if you watch this video, you would see that, oh my god, there were people who really were on a lot angry on people were violent. That's what you would conclude.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have a choice. If you remove that, instead of focusing, if you remove that focus and you shift the focus somewhere else, and you would see there are some bunch of people who are having a wonderful time. They are
Okay.
getting together and they are having such a wonderful talk. And if you watch this video about this party, people would say, oh, that was a one beautiful party where people were really connected with each other.
Okay.
So that's the same with our life. So there are different areas of our life which may not really be going well. So it depends on what are you focusing at.
Okay.
You can focus and then you can conclude.
Right.
So I'm not saying don't look at the problematic area. I'm just saying don't judge it and just ask a question, what is needed here?
So, on the same lines, I just wanted to ask a question that is a problem energy different than a solution energy? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. When mm, okay, so again it comes to the focus. So what are you telling yourself? So we do not see what we see. I mean, we do not see just what is there going on. We see so much in the future.
Okay.
For example, why do people worry? What is that? They are already visualizing things not going in their way. They are already projecting what problems they are going to face if if things don't show up the way they are looking forward to. actualize. So
Okay.
we are constantly projecting. There's a lot of projection happening here, and that depends on the projection is it's a fantasy. Like you're fantasizing
Yeah.
that something worse is going to happen, which
Right.
is just which is just in the mind again here. So depends on your focus. That's where the focus comes here. Okay, what are you focusing upon? Whatever
Okay.
you go, wherever the focus is, the energy goes.
Absolutely. I've heard that many times from many great speakers and psychologists that where your focus is, energy flows
Yeah,
there.
where the focus goes, the energy flows,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and emotion is energy in motion,
Oh, that's
right?
something
So
new.
so you just it's very important at times, in spite of all the qualities. So there can be, so for example, if there is a very good driver and
Okay.
he's running a race. I mean, he's driving his car, and if the car happens to skid. Now, when the car skids, um, one may not really know where it is going to hit,
Right.
or can he really be on the track. So this is what the training that is given is. If so, let's even not take that example. Let me take a simple example. If you're driving,
Okay.
yeah, that's an amazing example. If you're driving and you're focused, so it's just a one way, not one way, it's two way, and your focus is on the bus that is coming in the front,
Okay.
and you're telling yourself, oh my god, this bus should not hit me, I should not hit this bus, I should not hit this bus. Guess what?
You'll hit the bus.
The hand will just move towards that.
So why
However,
does that happen? Like if I don't want anything, people okay. This is again one thing. Good, you brought this example up.
yeah,
Is that I don't want pain. I don't want poverty. I don't want failure. I don't want this. Most of your focus is on I don't want.
correct.
So why do we still manifest that? That's I have not got that question yet. So if we are focused, okay, I don't want something.
Yeah, because it's simple. I mean, it's the simple logic is, since you don't want something, where is your focus? I don't
Not
want failure. I don't want to hit that bus. So where is your focus here? Your focus
so
is
it's
on the
more on
bus.
failure.
It's
It's
focus
more
on
on
it's focus. Yeah, for example, the bus. If I don't want to hit the bus, where is your focus? The focus on the bus.
on the
What do you
bus.
want? You want to be on the road. So
Okay.
focus on the road. So it's as simple. Yeah. See, the thing is, people need to complicate things.
Yeah,
Mind,
I love
mind.
to complicate things at times.
Well, I would not blame it on people. I would just say that we have been conditioned, and now you have this new information that it's simple matter of choice.
Okay.
You ask, okay, what do you want now? All right, all this while I have been, have been negative. I have been focusing on what I don't want. Do I still want to continue that drama?
Okay.
So it depends on really you. And the moment you ask this such question, you will really get an awareness. Oh, okay, no, I don't want. Okay, so if I don't want, why I'm creating it? Yeah, I've been creating because I didn't choose to ask the question, and I didn't choose to be aware. I just flew without. I mean, I was just flowing without really being aware of what is going on.
I would want to ask a question over here, which might be a great help to many people.
Yeah.
Let's say many of them, after listening to this podcast, they might want to change the energy or shift into some different dimension altogether. If their focus had been on I don't want failure, I don't want poverty, I don't want to lose a project, or anything which is in the frame of I don't want, what should be the right question or what should be the right set of questions
Yeah.
they should be asking in this particular situation or in the scenario where they don't want something?
Yeah. Mm.
What kind of question or how should they frame those questions
Sure.
and keep repeating those questions in that scenario, in that situation?
Sure. Well, these are very simple questions. Um, so it's like the question that I ask normally myself, is, am I here focused on the problem, or am I here focused on the solution?
Okay, for example, let's say I want to focus on the solution.
Solution. So yeah, so you just chose on focus on the solution. That's it.
Okay, I don't want to fail. Let's say,
Yeah.
let's take up an example. I don't want to fail
S-
in a particular exam. Okay,
Correct. Correct. So when you use the word fail, where is your focus there?
on failure, absolutely.
Exactly.
So, what
So
should be the question in
that's it.
this?
So you really ask, what is it that I want to create?
Okay,
So use that word. Okay, I want to create some phenomenal, successful, or good marks. So you can ask, what is it that I can do to create more marks here?
So let's say I want to score 90%.
Great. So your focus is more on the percentage of 90%. What would it take for me to score that 90%? What else do I need to do now?
Okay.
So it's just on about, it's as simple as asking what you want and not on what you don't want. It's as simple as asking, focusing on what is the solution rather than on the current problem. So when you are saying that I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want, just change what is it that you want.
Okay.
So it's a simple gear. Instead of using the word don't want, ask what do I want then.
I want to ask another question on the same lines, and that is, let's say, okay, do you agree that materialistic things carry some kind of energy? Let's say many people on their vision board are having mansion photos, they're having car photos which they want, they have office photos
Yeah.
which they want to manifest. Do materialistic things carry energy?
So, in a way, I would say that there are different ways how to keep your focus. These are one of the way which keeps you focused.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely when you look at a mansion, but it also depends on what energy are you in. If you are just looking at the vision board and inside you have no hope, and you're still cribbing and you're still wondering, oh my God, why these things are happening to me? How I'm going to meet my this, how I'm going to pay this bill, or you are, if internally, if that is going, that the vision board doesn't really, may not help. It may help, it may not help.
So
It-
let's say $1 million, okay, let's say hard cash,
Mhm.
has some energy. Do you agree to it? Right? It is a materialistic thing. Does
Now,
it carry energy?
that does not carry the energy. The energy that you give to it is what the energy that it carries.
Okay.
Because then if you say it's just bullshit, it's a crap, nothing works, then it is not carrying any energy for you. It's not working for you.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether it carries an energy or not. It
So
matters
it's more
just whether
about you.
what is working for you.
What is working for you? Yeah.
So for different people, different thing may work. So there were times when affirmation used to work phenomenally, and then there I just got bored out of it. I used to write 2 pages of affirmation. I
I
write
still
since
keep
fourth
doing that.
standard. Yeah, good. So if it is working, please continue doing that.
Okay.
So there is nothing that you just there is nothing that is fixed. Anything and everything can work. So if you ask me, do you believe that this works? I would say, well, it totally depends. If you believe that if it is working for you, then it is working for you. Whether the whole world doesn't believe it, it's immaterial. You are unique. So that's where you need to ask question to yourself. What is it that I need to do now? And that's where you may want to be deaf to what the world is saying then.
Okay.
Now, there is this well, I think I'll share the story some other time, but it's this that most of us are so much accustomed to people of authority,
Mm-hmm.
experts, and if they say that this is how things have to work and that's how things work, and if you don't do this then it will not work, well, I would say, well, it's a matter of choice whether to listen to them or to listen to yourself. What is it is going to work for me? Because there are times when I used to feel so heavy around certain paths which some people used to say this is what you need to do. I could never do that. I could never be consistent. And I used to beat myself up, and I would always say, oh, I am so inconsistent, I can never be successful. And I used to see successful people saying that you need to be consistent.
Okay.
And and now here I just flow with the energy, and I'm seeing that I am phenomenally able to outcreate myself the last 10 months. The leaps and bounds. I personally know how much I have shifted, how much of energy we used to get drained out with the conflict that I used to go within me. And there is so much of ease because I have stopped listening to what really people are saying. It's not
Okay.
about stop listening, rather I would question, okay, what part of this would work for me?
Okay.
And what part of this is not working for me? So I would just choose that.
Okay.
So what was the original question that you asked here?
So the original question was that do
Picture
if-
carry energy is what you
yes.
said.
So let's say if a person is putting a picture of a
Correct.
mansion,
Yes,
does
definitely.
it really carry
Definitely.
energy? Let's say there are $1 million in cash right now in the studio right now. Does it carry energy?
So that in itself.
So if I want to manifest $1 million,
right, yeah.
how should I align, or I should be in congruence with the my energy as
with
well
that.
as
Great.
the
So
$1 million
let me
energy.
tell you what normally happens. Just few possibilities. Now, people have a lot of definition about money. Okay, if you really feel people who are really wealthy are they got wealthy by cheating others, by fooling others, and so you would have a different energy around being rich. Okay, so when you say would that picture carry that does that picture carry energy? No, the picture in itself doesn't carry. It doesn't mean anything. It
Okay.
is the energy that you give it to it. So for somebody, it would be a filthy energy. Oh, much people who have that much money, they are uh, definitely um, disconnected from people. They are people who really don't bother about others. They are self-centered. So what is the energy that it is carrying? So that picture is not carrying energy. If 100 people are looking at that picture, each one of them is perceiving a different energy in that. So is the picture carrying the energy or you carrying that energy?
Okay.
So answer me. So if you are looking at a picture, so
Absolutely, I'm the one who's carrying the
exactly, then
energy.
then I mean, because the way you are looking at it, what meaning have you given to that? A beggar would say, "That's this bullshit. I mean, I would never be able to have this kind of the money in this lifetime." So what energy is that picture giving to him? It is not supporting and contributing to him.
Okay.
But for someone who's really focused on earning money and he really believes that that is possible, then that particular same picture can really support him.
Okay.
So things by its themselves uh, do not carry anything of intrinsic value, or even if they have any energy, that doesn't matter. I mean, I give this example. So if I believe in Lord Krishna, okay, and I have this wonderful bond with him, and if there is a second person who's an atheist, my Krishna cannot help him. For him, the
Yeah.
Krishna doesn't even exist.
Okay.
So the picture of Krishna, does it really going to help him? No, because it's the bond. It's how I am connected, how I'm related, or what is the bond in which we are connected is going to determine what that particular picture of Krishna is going to contribute to me.
Okay.
So it is not the things outside; it is the thing that is inside. The way you are looking at it, the point of views that you have, is what is going to really define how that thing which is outside is going to contribute to you.
Wow. So, my goodness, there's so much more to talk about, and
Yes.
to be really very honest, if we see our both body language right now, or the body posture in which we both are sitting, is Swami is just sitting so comfortably and just want to share so much, and my body posture is like, okay, give me more, give me more, give me more. But then somewhere we have to conclude, and somewhere we have to take a pause. I will not say a stop, because I am very pretty much sure that we are going to do much more
Definitely.
episodes around a lot of different topics. But before we conclude, the one question which has hit me a lot, and still it still keeps hitting me when it comes to whatever we have discussed right now, is about the time frame.
Yes.
So if I want to manifest anything, I tend to become, let's say I give a deadline, okay, I want to manifest this particular thing within 3 months or 6 months.
Yeah.
And I would not like to wait for like 5 years. And it will kill my motivation that if someone tells me that, okay, the thing which you're trying to achieve is going to take 5 years, it is going to kill my motivation. So I don't go and ask people out there that how much time am I going to take to manifest this. But then on some levels, when I'm trying to pursue something, I would surely want to be known, okay, known that, okay, this particular thing which I am trying to manifest will be done in 3 months of time. And it may or may not happen,
Mm-hmm.
but then people are definitely excited to know the timeline. And that's why I believe people go to astrologers and the experts to understand मेरा टाइम कब सही आएगा, और when is the right time which
मेरा
is
नंबर कब आएगा?
मेरा नंबर कब आएगा, or when is the right time in my life that I should start a business, or I should quit this job, I should break up with a person, or I should get involved in a relationship, or I should get married, and etc. So time has been a lot of concern to mostly everyone, and I am one of them. To be very honest, I am one of them. So just continuing the example of $1 million hard cash, I want to manifest,
Yeah.
and I say I want to manifest in 3 months of time. What would be your take on that?
Okay. Well, so earlier my take used to be very different, and
Okay.
things now things have shifted, and the way I look at it is very different now. So earlier I would definitely put a time frame on so many things.
Yeah.
And now,
Because
now,
smart goals come up with a T that is equal to time.
correct. So there are many approaches. There are different schools of thoughts. People can agree to this approach. For some people, this may work. For some people, this may not work. At this point of time, time is not something that is working for me. I feel that somewhere when I use time, I'm restricting the universe.
Okay.
So when it comes to so you actually asked two questions actually.
Okay.
One was about time, and then other thing was when is the right time to do this thing. Those are two
Yeah,
different
so I
things.
would say it is a
One
one
is
question only. You might see it as two, but then yeah, for me it is more like if I want to manifest something, should I give a time frame, yes or no?
yeah, that's one.
And
Okay,
the second question might be, I'm just getting over there, might be that
right time. When is the right time to do
when is the right time to
correct?
really,
Do
plan out
something. Yeah,
things or to really know now is the right time I
correct,
should
correct.
be
Yeah,
doing this,
sure.
or should I start a business, or should I leave my job, or
Right.
etc. There are
Yeah,
multiple questions people ask, but then again, it's all
sure,
around time.
sure. So there are different answers to it. I mean, different approaches, and when it let's talk about the second question. When is the right time
Okay.
to do something? Now, let me go ahead with. So there's a simple. Uh, there is a way which people like to have control basically,
Yeah, that
and
I'm
that's where
controlling.
everything
Yeah,
comes.
again,
We
yeah.
want to control the outcome, we want to control our life, so everything comes over
Yes.
that. And I used to do so many things so that I can have a better control over my situation.
Right.
And in the last these 10 months, I have been able to create the changes, the skills I have been able to build, and the money level, relationship, food, health, everything has shifted. And uh, and and the approach has been very different, not to have control over things. So earlier I used to control and
Okay.
try to create the things that I thought is going to work for me. I have already decided what is going to work for me.
Okay.
And that's where is the catch. We
Mm-hmm.
all want to be successful,
Absolutely.
we all want to achieve some money, we
No
all want
doubt
to
in
have
that.
but do we really desire that, or we desire the outcome that is going to come out of it? It is actually the outcome. For
It's always
example,
the outcome.
however, if you actually check, why would you want a certain sum of money? You want certain sum of money because you want to feel more secure, perhaps. You want to feel more confident to be able to afford anything that you would want to afford.
Right.
You want to perhaps travel. I mean, we all may have different
Different dreams and
reasons for
reasons.
having that money.
Yeah.
Instead of asking for the money, we ask for that things to show up.
Okay.
For example, if you want to travel, I would say, well, what would it take for me to travel all over the world with total ease?
Okay.
What can I do now that can really um, help me to travel all over the world? What ideas are available to me? What resources are available to me now that I'm not at tapping, which can help me to travel? So um, so now I have moved out of the form and structure. So now I don't restrain my universe to show up in a specific way. Why? Because when you have so much focus on creating that 1 million rupees, or 1 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees, whatever that amount is, we are so much fixated to that one outcome. And there are hundreds of different things that the universe is showing up, and we are blind to that. We
Right.
don't acknowledge those small amazing different, not I would say small, certain more amazing stuff that is happening in our life, because this one thing has not showed up the way you want it to show up. So uh, earlier I used to believe something different, and now it is shifting. So one of the thing is, things normally may not show up the way you want it.
Or maybe the time you want it to show up.
Yeah, time is one thing. Second is the form. The way
From.
you want it may not really show up that way. However, because you are believing that that is going to give happiness. But how many times, tell me, really, if you look at your life, when was the last thing that you goal that you achieved? Tell me. Perhaps a car or something, or a phone, or
Even a
any
small
gadget.
goal, like today, I had this target to, a goal, I'll say, not a target, to get an interview done with you. and I'm just nearing to be done.
Well, I mean, let's take something else more when we when let's take something which people normally design, people normally aspire for is something concrete, materialistic.
Yeah.
Let's take some gadget for that matter.
Okay.
Okay, for example, when you said million rupees, this
Right.
bungalow, this car, or this thing. So let's take something concrete here. Let's take a million rupees, for example, a 10 lakh rupees, a sum of 10 lakh rupees. Now, your all focus is about creating the 10 lakh rupees, right?
Right.
If you don't end up earning the 10 lakh rupees within that stipulated amount of time, what is that you're going to derive out of it? That you are a failure, or you were not able to do it, or you're not capable of doing it. So basically, here you are not. There are so many things here. You are not acknowledging all the other gifts that the universe is giving.
Okay.
This is you who decided that that much amount of money has to come, because you believe that when that money comes, you will feel that level of confidence. It's so yeah. I'm now I'm just shifting here. It is not the things that you want.
Okay.
It is it is the experience that you want, that you
Absolutely.
think that that thing is going to give you.
Yeah, people,
Ha-
we do things for experience.
exactly. And most of the time, like for example, when was the last car you bought?
I'm on the back.
A month back. Fantastic. Now, the kind of excitement, okay, that you had before buying the car about this car, and the kind of excitement you have now, is it the same or is it different?
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
different.
great. Now, when was a car you bought before this car, and what was that car?
A year back, and
What was that? So now, whatever that car is,
mm-hmm.
the kind of pride that you would take when you drove it on the first day, and the kind of pride that you now have when you look at that, in comparison to this new car, which is definitely an upgraded version, that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So we are looking for a particular experience, and we think that this particular relationship, this particular money, this particular goal is going to give me this kind of experience. For example, security. If you really are looking for a good amount of money, it's about security,
Right.
or a sense of security, that okay, if I have this much amount of money in the bank, then I will feel secure. Well, that's a choice. You are choosing to be. You can just be secure just like that as well. So I'm not asking not to have that thing. I'm asking, ask for the security directly.
Okay.
What would it take for me to feel that secure?
Okay.
And then be willing to receive in whatever way the universe is ready to show up.
So, are
That
you saying
secure.
that again should be without any time frame?
Personally, I would say you don't have to fix a time frame, because for the simple reason, if you fix a timeline, then you are vested on the outcome.
Okay.
And when you are vested on the outcome, you become blind to all other gifts that the universe is showing up. So if the universe shows up a month later, then you are not that happy. And you feel that there was something wrong, something else that I should have done better. How do you know?
But till then, what to do? That's my. That's
Till
my.
the time thing shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first and foremost, you do not really set a time frame.
Okay.
You ask for the earliest possible time when this can show up. So, for
Okay.
example, let me frame this question. If you want to buy a particular car, what would it take for me to have a phenomenal car? So, like, I have changed my goals now. Like
Okay.
earlier, I had fixed that this is this particular brand I want.
Okay.
And for I think more than 5 years, I had the same thing. I even had it in my laptop. And now it has shifted. Now,
Okay.
instead of that one Mercedes car, which one particular model that I'm looking at, what if the universe was wanting to gift me a Rolls Royce?
Okay.
I'm not even asking for that.
Right.
So when you are only fixated to the in what form you're going to receive, you are only looking for that form for the universe to show up as. You're not willing to look at all any other. If there is something else that is going to contribute more, we are not even willing to receive from the universe.
Oh my God.
So it's about receiving.
Okay.
It's about we closing down so many different. If that same car in a different model shows up, you're not willing to receive that. Arey yaar, I had asked for this, but I got this.
So are you trying to say, let me get this now in a simple way now, I guess I'm getting over there then. So for example, let's say you have fixated onto some car, let's say
Yeah.
any car, let's not get into details, and you get or you receive or you manifest some other one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you had, if you had fixated onto an experience of a phenomenal car,
Exactly. You got it.
and it might happen that the car which you had fixated upon might not give the experience which you wanted,
Exactly.
but something else shows up which is matching your need or delivering your need.
Yeah,
Let's keep it
matching
that
that
way.
experience
Matching that experience,
that I'm
or
looking for,
yeah,
desiring for.
and it's above satisfactory, which
Absolutely, you actually got it. You actually
okay,
got it. So,
my
so
god.
here I have now started asking, okay, what would it take for me to have a car that is, that I feel that is stunning,
Okay,
that I feel proud to drive.
okay.
That
Defining the experience, maybe.
exactly. How would
Wow.
you want to feel about it? Then you leave it to the universe, because it's like tying the hands of the universe when you're fixing, and that's why too much of you should not at times you should not go into too much of specificities.
Okay,
Yeah, you should not be too specific
okay.
about things. You ask for the experience that thing is going to deliver, because ultimately it is the experience that you're looking for.
Right.
Now tell me, now this particular car which you got, you got it because for certain experience. Now perhaps
Right.
after 1 year, the experience of driving this car and the earlier car may almost
But
be the
it
same.
happened with me. I was looking for something else, and I end up buying something else. But trust me, today I'm much more satisfied and much more happy that I didn't choose what I
Yes.
originally was
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah.
But
It's like this. If you are functioning from your limited mind, you have a limited idea. Only those cars that are there in your mind that you are aware of, only you are going to choose from them,
right, again,
right?
it's
But
kind of a controlling kind of a
yeah,
thing.
it's a control. Now it's, even at times control is okay, but let's see why the value of this. And there are hundreds and other thousands of cars that can be there, that may be in the process of getting built, that may be in process of getting launched.
Right.
And with certain advanced and upgraded facilities that you may really desire to have. And if you can ask for the experience, then that car may show up for you.
I
But
so relate this to now. But I'm totally switching it from car to now relationship now.
yeah,
It's
beautiful.
I'm absolutely jumping, and I would love to jump there. Many people, or in fact even I for that matter, again, have fixated that okay, this is the person who I would want to spend my entire life
Life
with,
it, yes.
and I was so fixed upon her, and then she didn't really show up
Sure.
in my life, and
Good for you.
and now it's more like definitely, again, it was again, let's use this experience example. I'm so much excited now right now to say this thing that I was living with a person is an experience again,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So now rather than fixating upon a person, if I fixate upon that I want to have
This
this relationship
experience.
with relationship experience with
Correct.
in my life,
Yeah.
doesn't matter from what person it comes
Exactly.
from, or who it comes from, or how she looks, or from where she is, and etc., all 10,000 things which we always come down to when we want to get into a
Correct.
relationship, and I just focus on the relationship, I might attract that one, right?
Yes, and it's so much ease because now universe has more choice.
Choice.
Now the issue is when if it's just one person, and if that one person already is engaged with someone else, then it's difficult for the universe to really it has to break something to create something new.
Yes.
So instead of that, if you can ask for a nurturing relation, so you can ask for a nurturing relationship where you can really respect each other, have a deep sense of bonding and connection with each other, where you can immensely contribute to each other and feel expansive in each other's presence, and being a gift to each other's life and to people around you. Well, that's more expansive than
I totally feel it right now when
exactly. You
I
can feel,
just
yeah.
switched from, let's say, from materialistic things to relationship. I can feel that expansiveness. My goodness, this is such a I have no
Eye
words, in
opener.
fact. I
Yeah,
have just really have no words.
yeah,
My
it's just
goodness.
really. I mean, when I really got to know this way of functioning, oh my God, there was so much ease in my world. There was so many possibilities now. I have so many options because it's actually, yeah. I was just finishing this one. Like if you tie it's like tying up the hands of the universe. When you say I only want this,
Right.
because you have decided that that is going to give you that experience that you're looking for.
Okay.
We know so limited. The universe knows so much more. It knows thousands of different other possibilities that we are not even aware of, and that we cannot even explore in this lifetime or perhaps the next 10 lifetime. But the universe are aware of those were different kind of experience, and
My
those possibilities
goodness.
that when you ask for those experience, the universe can show up that particular person, which the kind of person that may not really be you were not even thinking about that possibility.
So I would want to connect from where we started now. We started off with a very
Energy,
basic question,
energy.
energy, and now we are ending up on an experience. Is experience an energy?
Is an experience and energy. So every experience carries an energy.
Okay.
Is what every experience has a unique energy to it, and here we are asking for you to focus on what is the kind of experience that you want, or basically actually the energy of experience. So you want to feel nurturing, caring, loving, expansive. That's the energy.
That's the energy.
Yes. So let's start. So let's perceive the energy of compassion. Perceive the energy of um, allowance.
Okay.
Okay, and perceive the energy of. Can you perceive it? Can you just perceive what would this energy of um, allowance and expansiveness, lightness, and then okay, this one set of words that it carries an energy. Let's look at other set of example. Judgment,
Okay.
control.
Yeah, I can feel the
Okay,
heaviness.
yeah, there's a different energy to it. Then yeah, I think that's sufficient. So that there is a difference in energy in
Right.
words.
Mm-hmm.
So 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 yeah, same with this with experience. So they just have different energy. So you
Okay.
just ask for whatever energy you want to show up as, and that would show up.
Wow. Oh my God. To all the listeners, I want to mention this thing that we had planned an episode of 20 minutes. Trust me, I can just share the screenshot of the message which I had sent to Swami that let's do an interview podcast for 20 minutes. And right now, on my screen timer, it is 1 hour,
Oh my goodness.
7 minutes. And we could have still went on and on and on, but then yes, time is a limitation. I might just split out the entire episode into two episodes now. I might do that. I'm not sure yet. But then, if at all you can see two episodes, then please listen to this first episode as well as the second episode because they are a lot eye opening and massive, massive learning and absolutely a new perspective about goals, dreams, and connecting them to the energy you want to carry. My goodness, I'm just too much full now with what I have learned right now. So I would just want to just end the episode, but then before ending the episode, if anyone wants to get in touch with Swami and understand things or hire him for his coaching sessions or coaching hours, how can they connect with you, Swami?
Well, I mean, they can just reach out to me. I have my phone number, then I have my Instagram account and a Facebook account.
Okay.
Yeah, so they just need to go and type Swamy Pillai
Okay.
as SWAMYPLPILLAI, I think.
Super. So it's not SWAMI,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
Y.
MY. Please make a note of it, or else you will end up being a victim to another Swami.
Well,
So yes, that is a wrap. I officially announce it's a wrap of this particular episode,
thank
but
you.
then we are going to come up with a lot more. Now I'm after this episode, I'm definitely going to buy his time and get on to much more new content and new learnings.
Yes, even I'm
So
looking forward to that.
sure, thank you Swami
Thank
for
you.
spending so much of time and sharing so much of knowledge with us.
You're
We'll be
welcome.
back soon in the next episode. Till then, have a lovely, lovely, lovely life ahead. Till the time we meet. Also, carry the energy which Swami has already shared. Don't forget, your energy is what you manifest the experience you want. Was it right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Was it
okay.
right?
The people got it.
The
So
people
it's
got it.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it might sound grammatically wrong, but then I'm okay. Like fuck it now. Oh my god, I'm just wrapping up the episode. It
Thank
is such
you.
a fun time, and we'll be catching up soon. I might come up with my own single episode as well as the interview episode in the coming week. Till then, have a lovely life ahead. See you. Bye bye.